Hello, beautiful people. This is Dr. Dain. Welcome to this installment of the Tour of Consciousness. What a great pleasure it is to be with you from Houston, from my bedroom, again. Let's just keep that between us, that we keep getting together in my bedroom over the computer. We'll just act like that's normal. Oh, it is normal nowadays. What the fuck? Anyway, I hope you're doing absolutely phenomenal right now. You may or may not know we're in the... It's time for World Suicide Prevention Day, which is actually occurring on Thursday, September 10th. Not sure when you'll see this particular video, but it's been a very interesting thing to be interviewed, doing TV interviews and newspaper interviews and all kinds of stuff. And I'm really grateful to be given the chance, and also that people are actually starting to be willing to hear about this wonderful thing called bars, which a lot of you probably already know about. It literally saved my life 20 years ago. And it did something nothing else had ever done. And it was that made me want to actually live. It changed the energy, something I thought was never going to happen. So I'm just putting that out there as a gentle reminder. If you haven't had bars or maybe taken a bars class so you can learn how to do it, whatever works for you, I just want you to know it's available. And I also want you to know you are not alone. The reason I started making these Tour of Consciousness videos, 12 years ago, a long time ago now, was because I wanted to give people tools and let them know they were not alone. And and the funny part is the number of emails I get where somebody says, Dr. Dain, thank you so much. That was exactly what was going on for me. How did you know? And I'm like, well, that's part of why I do it, because I want to give you the tools in the moment, because being on this journey of desiring a different reality, a different world, something that actually works for us, something that actually has kindness for us, it ain't the easiest thing. When you feel like all the other fish are swimming that way and you're just absolutely committed to going that way, sometimes it can really help to have someone and something be a contribution. And so as that, my question that I'd like to ask you is what contribution are you to the people around you that you haven't acknowledged? Have you ever thought that maybe, have you ever had somebody tell you something, you're like, okay, I'm not sure I can tell you this. I feel like, but I need to get it off my chest. Will you please listen? And you're like, sure. And they tell you this thing that they thought was the worst, most terrible thing in the world that they have done or been or experienced or whatever. And you're like, oh, wow, cool. Thanks for telling me. And are you aware that changes their world? Just the willingness to listen to someone without judgment changes their world. So I just wanted to put that out there on a couple levels. Number one, right now in the world, people need some more connection with other people, even if it is via Skype or Zoom or however the heck you connect, or, WhatsApp, whatever. But like a face-to-face connection where you just go, hi, where you can look in their eyes, even if it's on a screen. And hopefully, maybe there's a way that you can connect with them in person. And we all know that's more difficult than it has been in the past, but okay. But I just wanted to put that out there. And I also wanted to acknowledge the gift of you for being somebody who will listen to somebody without judgment. Now, maybe you're like, but I don't really do that. I judge all the time. Well, you may not. You may actually be really aware of their judgments. If that's the case, see the Who Does This Belong To playlist that I have, because it's such a big thing. But I just wanted to acknowledge that a lot of you out there are this space of no judgment for people. And it sort of goes unacknowledged, but that's one of the greatest gifts you can be. One of the things I've been trying to get people to recognize is we need to function differently from the time we start raising our kids, because we teach them right and wrong, good and bad. So what we do is we fundamentally teach them to judge themselves all the time, to do the right thing for mommy and daddy, and then to be the right person for everybody else. Well, what we should be teaching them is your choice creates. There is no right choice, there is no wrong choice. There is no good choice, there is no bad choice. Your choice creates. And so I've been trying to have this conversation, and certain people are going, oh, that makes so much sense. We've learned to judge from the time we were tiny, which for people like you guys, the sensitive people in the world, and by the way, sensitive from my point of view is a superpower. It's like you have an amazing capacity when you have that level of sensitivity that you have, but whereas somebody else will get judged or perceive everything going on in the world, and their volume knob is like at a 1 or 2, yours is up at more like 200. And so if you recognize that, you realize you're fundamentally different in how you perceive the world. Well, What if everything you thought was a wrongness of you is actually a strongness? But you're fundamentally different in how you perceive the world. Well, what does that create? Well, when you're sensitive and you're different and you've been taught to judge you for being different, and the whole purpose of judgment also is to make sure everybody functions like a regular sheep, well, now you're really aware, you don't know what to do with it. Nobody's talking to you about it because nobody acknowledges it's your awareness. They just think you're weird, and you've always been weird. Yeah, you've always been sensitive your whole life. And the original meaning of weird was of spirit, fate, or destiny, as you may have heard. Okay? So if you can tell, what I'm sort of painting is a construct of you being the difference that you were, them trying to shove you into this reality. And I'm not making it about you versus them. That never works anyway, okay? Because then somebody else is responsible for what goes on for you. No, I'm talking about what occurred and also the choices that you made to fit into that box and try to make judgment real when it's not actually real for you. So, what judgments have you been making real for you about you that aren't even real and true for you? Everything that is times a gazillion. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And here's one of the other things. When you take something that's not yours and you make it yours, you live it even more intensely than whoever you just bought it from, which is really weird because you'd think if it were more intense, it must be yours. Remember this, what's true makes you lighter, so what's yours actually makes you lighter. So if it's not yours and you get really heavy and really intense, return to sender with consciousness attached. So let me try to do a little bit of a wrap up here. Because there are so many things that want to be said, but I'm also trying not to make another 20-minute video. I may not get away with that, but I'm trying. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so you are a different creature. You always have been. That difference that you are is a gift. That difference that you are is a gift to everybody in your life, whether they know it or not. That difference that you are is a gift to the world. That different way you have of perceiving the world and your sensitivity for perceiving the world is a gift. It's part of what makes you care so much for other people. It's part of what makes you desire to contribute to them. And it's part of what you have as an awareness is the awareness of the world, not just your own individual place or space. Okay? So, having said all of that, what happens is you live in a world where people try to get you to judge what is right and wrong to be, but you don't really know how to judge. So you try to follow their path of judgment to see what is right and see what is not wrong, to try to do what's right, but right and wrong isn't really part of your reality. Well, now what do you do? If right and wrong is not truly part of your reality, you know, when I say that, does it make sense to you? Do you hear that and go, oh shit, that makes sense? That's why you haven't been able to figure it out. That's also why if you're a parent, oh my goodness, as a humanoid parent, what do you do? And humanoids are us weirdos, by the way. What do you do? You're in a constant state of judgment because you don't want to be that kind of parent, but that's the only thing you've seen as parenting. Well, what do you do is realize it's different for you. You truly do not get right and wrong, good and bad from the space of judgment. But what you do get is awareness. If I choose this and I lighten up somebody's world, I get lighter. If I choose this and I contract their world, I tend to get heavier. If I choose this and I contract my world, I get heavier. If I choose this and open up my world, I get lighter. That you actually have a fundamental awareness of, and it's the one thing you think you don't get. This is where you need to be reminded, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. So what I'd ask right now is everything you've been doing to make you wrong because you just don't seem to get it here, everything you've been doing to make you wrong because you just don't seem to understand what the heck is going on and why is this reality the way this reality is, we just run and create all that, please. Times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And also, if you've had a lot going on since Corona and you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, please find someone who doesn't judge you and just do verbal diarrhea, okay? That's a weird visual. Verbal vomit, whatever it is, okay? Just let it out and don't filter it and this is if you have somebody who doesn't judge you. If you don't have somebody who doesn't judge you, you could get you could call an access facilitator. The other thing I would highly suggest, as I said before, get your bars run. But what I'm trying to get you to is to get this stuff out of your head because you have a level of sensitivity where, once again, somebody else might perceive it as one little clunk and you perceive it as bap, 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 bap. And I say again, your sensitivity is a gift. So if you've been going through stressful times like that, find a way to get it out. Find a way to, even if you pick up your phone right now, right after the video, and just press record and just start talking about everything that's going on. Or just say it out loud without a recorder. Or write it down. Or journal. Or whatever the heck it is you do. Because it's time for us to start actually caring for us and taking care of us. Okay? You are a gift to this world, my beautiful friends. And I want you to know you're not alone. We also have at accessconsciousness.com, You Are Not Alone. We have people who are gifting bar sessions and during this month of September as a way of contributing to people this gift that we have all received from the bars and from Access. So this is available to you also. And so I just wanted to paint a different picture that might give you more of a sense of being a gift, more of a sense of you, and more of a sense that the difference of you is actually the greatness of you. And what if everything you've been told is a wrongness of you is actually a strongness? So I hope these words land softly in your heart and create a space where there can be a softening in your world that creates a sense of everything's okay, because it is. And that's my doorbell. That's what happens when you're filming in your bedroom. And not only that, but we've got an opportunity right now, like we never have before, to truly change the fundamental basis of how we function with reality, to no longer be the effect, but to be the cause and the invitation to a different reality. So, I know it's been a bit of a rambling video, but there are so many things that want to be said, and I have barely said any of them, but I hope you get you are not alone. We are in this together. And those of us weirdos, it's time for us to actually have each other's backs. It's time for us to, I don't want to say band together, although sort of, it's time for us to actually get the gift of being weird. Remember, the original meaning of weird was of spirit, fate, or destiny. And so please know, to the best of my ability, I have your back energetically. And you're like, yeah, but you don't even know me. I'm like, yeah, but each of us that is willing to contribute to each of us being greater, well, we have each other's backs. And so just wanted you to know that. Okay. Wow. And so please recognize the gift of you being on this planet, my beautiful friends. On that note, I am going to go now. And what if you, truly being you, are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires? You truly are. And I thank you for being in this world. And I very much look forward to seeing you in person someday and giving you a big old hug. See you soon. Bye.